Wish I had a fifth.
Well,
Maybe someday.
maybe.
Can dream. No, I'm not talking about it.
You and I rest.
Beautiful.
I come in on the third bar.
Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Our ceremony will begin in about 4 minutes, so we invite you to find a seat if you haven't done so already. Before we begin this joyous ceremony, let me remind you to silence your mobile devices and be courteous to those around you by refraining from talking or leaving your seat during the ceremony. We've hired a photographer to capture the moment your graduate receives his or her degree, so please do not approach the stage area. During the presentation of graduates, we encourage you to express your pride by applauding and cheering, but please refrain from using any air horns. In the event of fire or other emergency, you're asked to proceed in an orderly fashion to the nearest exit. Exits are identified by illuminated exit signs. Please note the exits in both the southeast and the southwest corners of the gym, as well as the main entrance of the gymnasium. Please proceed to the nearest outside exit upon leaving the gym. Thank you for your cooperation, and we'll begin the ceremony in just a few moments.
Two pieces. Which one do you want to do, Dan? David? I would. Two airs or two pieces? What do you guys decide? Honeysuckle? Okay, honeysuckle. Two pieces. No repeats? No repeats. Okay. Okay, got it. Night watch? She's not ready. Straight through, no repeat. Night watch? Yeah, not this. Second inning, no repeat.
Good evening. Please stand for the national anthem. You may be seated. Welcome to this momentous occasion, graduates. Thank you to the guests that have joined us this evening. I am Provost Eric Heiser, and I am delighted to congratulate the class of 2022 on behalf of the faculty at Central Ohio Technical College. I'd like to ask the graduates to take a moment and think about all that led up to you sitting here this evening. You made it through a lot. A pandemic, remote learning, hybrid learning, clinical experiences, internships, and more. Your perseverance and dedication have brought you to the culmination of your educational experience with COTC, Commencement. You have earned the right to be incredibly proud of yourself and your achievement. You are now joining more than 15,000 students to have made the transition from student to alumni. When the time comes to turn your tassel, feel confident in yourself and carry that confidence into the world. The faculty and I applaud your success. Congratulations, graduates. I'm now pleased to welcome to the stage the president of Central Ohio Technical College, Dr. John M. Berry.
I appreciate that. You are going to be a wonderful audience because you're applauding before I say a word. So thank you all very much. Good evening and officially welcome. The faculty, candidates, and guests of Central Ohio Technical College are assembled. I now proclaim the Autumn 2022 Commencement ceremony to be in session. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the members of the Central Ohio Technical College Board of Trustees who are here with us this evening. Trustees are appointed by the Governor of the State of Ohio and by local school boards. As I call your name, please remain standing for recognition. Rob A. Montagnes, Chair. Paul M. Thompson, Vice Chair. J. Andrew Crawford. Bruce E. Hawkins. Marion M. Sutton. Rhoda S. Crown. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could thank our Board of Trustees. I also have the pleasure of working with a fantastic group of individuals. We also have members of the President's Cabinet on stage here this evening. As I call your name, please remain standing for recognition. Brian Bomer, Superintendent of Facilities and Support Services. Dr. David Brilhart, Vice President for Business and Finance. Dr. John Davenport, Dean of Students. Dr. Eric Heiser, Provost. Dr. Sinith Kumar, Director of Marketing and Public Relations. And Kim Mano, Director of Advancement. A great group of people. Thank you all for being here. Lastly, but very importantly, on stage is Professor Scott Wilson, who has served Central Ohio Technical College as a faculty member for 42 years. As our senior and most faculty member, Scott has the honor to serve as the mace bearer. The college mace is a symbol of the Office of the President and represents each of our 4 campuses. The mace is used to lead the academic procession at commencement and other ceremonial occasions. Scott, would you please stand and be recognized? Now it is my pleasure to invite Mr. Rob Montagnes, Chair of the Central Ohio Technical College Board of Trustees, to the podium to offer his moments of congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Berry. It's really my pleasure to be here. This is all going to be impromptu because Dr. Berry took the script with him, but that's fine. I'm used to speaking in front of an audience. First of all, I have to apologize. I will need to leave early. I have another event, a commitment that I need to go to, but as the chair of the board, this is one of the more privileged opportunities that I have to congratulate the graduates, their families, all those who supported them. This is a tremendous evening, a tremendous night for all of you. And I can tell you, at one of my graduations, I remember a speaker saying, people don't really care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that may be trite, but it's true. Tonight, you clearly have demonstrated you know what you're doing in the fields you are graduating in tonight. I would challenge you to not only demonstrate that technical knowledge, the thoughtfulness you've demonstrated through your classwork, but to take that into caring not only in your professions, but in your communities and for those that you interact with on a daily basis. I think that's what makes this community, this university and college that we have, so special to those of us who live, work, and raise our families here in Licking County. So with that, graduates, congratulations to all of you. You have earned this through your hard work. I'm really proud to be a part of this. Congratulations. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you, Mr. Montagnes, and I could tell you that was better than the scripted piece, so well done, sir. I appreciate that. It is my pleasure to now introduce the first of our two guest speakers this evening. And COTC does something a little bit non-traditional. When we ask two individuals to address our commencement groups, we ask a current student from the graduating class who has an interesting background and story, and we also ask a former student at COTC to share basically perceptions of their experience as well. So tonight, representing the graduating class and earning an associate's degree in nursing is Affion Hawkins. Affion completed the practical nursing program with us in December of 2020 and then started the transitions program in May of 2021. I can also attest to you that Affion was selected by COTC to represent us in the Intel groundbreaking ceremony where the President of the United States was standing beside her. So, Affion, it is my pleasure to welcome you.
All right. If you would have told me a few years ago that I would be standing here with you today, I would have said, no way. But here we are. Board of Trustees, President Dr. Berry, our Provost, Dr. Eric Heiser, friends and family, graduates of Central Ohio Technical College, it is indeed an honor and privilege to be standing here before you briefly today. To reflect on our time here together and to leave with you, most importantly, a few inspiring words, maybe. I first want to thank God for allowing me to see this day. I want to thank my mother, who's been here from the beginning of me, praying for me daily, encouraging me. I thank you for everything. I want to thank my mother-in-law, Mary. You always kept me laughing and motivated through all my tough times through this program. To my wife, you've been here for so long through this process. I'm so thankful to have you as a partner. You've been my best friend, my biggest cheerleader through this, always there to push me forward. So I thank you. And to my baby girl, Mason, you're my biggest inspiration. I thank God for allowing me to be your mom. You can be whatever you want to be. The world is yours. But since you're only 3 years old, yes, you can watch your iPad. All right. Finally, I just want to say, these 3 years, sorry. This is hard. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about the power of failure and the power of saying yes. I have 5 minutes, so it'll be quick. What I will say is in 2004, I was on this campus. There was definitely some failures in my journey. These failures were never permanent. They never blocked me from moving forward or pursuing bigger and better dreams. All of my failures, or which I should call minor pauses in my story, I would never change. I would never change them because it makes a day like today for me and my family even more special. I read a book years ago by Shonda Rhimes called The Year of Yes. I would definitely say that these last few years at COTC have been my years of yes. In 2019, I said yes to the LPN program. I had an almost 1-year-old at the time, and I knew it would be challenging for me. In 2020, I came back to start, in 2020 is when I started that program, and then we had COVID in March. That was a tough time, but I said yes. I pressed forward. I continued with online learning. I learned to do induced skill checkoffs with a Foley catheter, with a water bottle, and a towel. Make it make sense. It worked out, and it got me to here. After becoming an LPN, I started right back here, like you said, in May of 2021, and I had a minor pause, but I said yes and started right back in 2022. I said I had 3 semesters, and I could do this. I started my first semester, I passed. My second semester, I wanted to give up, I wanted to throw in the towel, but I said yes, and I kept moving forward. And like you said, in this third semester, I said yes to a few different opportunities. I said yes to an email from Dr. Kendra Cunningham, and then I said yes to Dr. Berry when he asked me to attend and also speak at the groundbreaking press conference for Intel. My family and all my friends, they definitely will never, and me will never forget that opportunity that you gave me. Plus, it's on YouTube. If I could leave you with anything, it would be to say yes to something different. Say yes to something that scares you and challenges you. Put people in your life that believe in you, that encourage you. They see the best in you, sometimes even when you don't see the best in yourself. Again, congratulations. Kudos to all the graduates, including myself. Say thank you to yourselves. Say good job to yourself. Congratulations to yourself. You did this. This was hard work. Lots of tears for some. I don't cry that much, but a lot of tears for some through this program. A lot of people had to put themselves in uncomfortable positions through this program. So again, class of 2022, keep climbing, keep grinding, keep pressing forward, and God bless you. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Afyong. So quick show of hands from all of our graduates. How many of you experienced the power of failure during this experience? And how many of you chose the power of yes? You wouldn't be sitting there if you didn't, so congratulations to each of you. All right, thank you very much, Afyong. We appreciate those inspirational words. Our next speaker is no stranger to the college. Reuben Clark came to COTC in 1997 as part of the Peace Officer Basic Training Program. He currently serves as the Director of Information Technology at Rev Local. He is also the chairman of the board of the Licking County Chamber of Commerce and a member of COTC's Computer Information Technology Advisory Committee. If you could help welcome him to the podium. Thank you all.
Thank you, President Berry. Good evening. As a former Central Ohio Technical College student, I am honored to be standing before you speaking today. And by the way, what a great-looking group of graduates you are. Give yourselves a round of applause. Whether you believe it or not, many of you will go out into the world and have a huge impact. I'd like to take a few minutes to share a few points to help you continue to find success going forward. These are things I learned over the years, but wish I had known sooner. My hope is that you will find them useful, and maybe, just maybe, they will help you have an even greater impact. The first point I have for you is about relationships. During my time as a student at COTC, I found myself navigating a number of new relationships. Whether it was the dedicated professors helping me succeed in my classwork, the incredible staff helping me navigate the paperwork for enrollment and financial aid, or the peers I connected with in my classes going through many of the same challenges as me, I found that positively fostering those relationships would only help to provide the support I needed going forward. By investing in them during the best of times, I was able to lean on them during times of need. In fact, many of those relationships continued for years to come, and some still exist today. I challenge you today with the following. What new relationships have you formed while here at COTC? How are you fostering those relationships? Are you there to support others when they need you, much in the same way they're there, much in the same way they're there when you need them? Just as someone else has invested in you, investing in others brings a valuable reward like no other. My next point is to find your passion. We have all likely heard the quote, "If you do what you love, you never have to work a day in your life." While this may be hard for some to imagine, there's something to be said about finding those things in life that energize us and intentionally focusing on them. Whether you came to COTC to earn a degree or certification because it was the next logical step, or because you're changing careers, or to just have a better life for you and your family, what you focused on may or may not be your passion. If it is, then that is great. Continue to invest in yourself and find those opportunities to further your passion. However, if what you focused on during your time here at COTC isn't truly your passion, or maybe you're just not sure yet, I'm here to tell you that is also okay. In fact, I came here to COTC to attend the Police Academy program. So where are my law enforcement and criminal justice people? There you go. However, I'd come from out of state, as a certified peace officer to Ohio, where it is required to go through recertification even though you're certified in another state. I pushed through believing this was the course I was determined to take for my life, but soon after realized that my passion lied elsewhere. I stand before you today with a 22-year career in information technology. What could be further from fighting crime and patrolling the streets than providing tech support and building computers? In the end, however, all was not a loss. For many years, I was able to combine the knowledge of law enforcement practices I gained at COTC to support numerous police departments, sheriff's offices, 911 centers, fire departments, and even emergency management agencies and Homeland Security with their technology needs. Additionally, I gained skills that I could apply to any career: leadership, organization, critical thinking, and problem solving, just to name a few. I implore you to take the things you've learned here and carry them forward into the next phase of your life. Always strive to build upon them by continuing to learn, finding opportunities to use them, and drive your passion forward. My final talking point today is less of a point and more of an appeal for you to serve your community. You have spent countless hours, days, and weeks investing in yourself, your education, and your future. Congratulations on successfully completing your goals here at COTC. You obviously believe in making the world a better place for yourself, but as you enter this next phase of your life, there is no better time than now to take what you've gained here and reinvest in your friends, your neighbors, and your community. The world is ripe with opportunities to serve through many numerous service organizations, or even to identify an unfilled need and apply yourself to solving it. We all know that change in the world must begin with ourselves. By committing to a lifestyle of community service, that change is put into action and strengthened by numbers. You have the power to make the world around you a better place, to make a positive difference, and in return, your service to others will reward you greatly. Finally, in summary, I leave you with these things. 1, foster the relationships in your life. Some are for only a season, while others will last a lifetime. Be there for others, just as you would want them there for you, and you will never find yourself without help. 2, continue to find your passion and your reason for why you love what you do. Focus on those things that bring you energy and fulfillment. You will be happy you do. And lastly, find ways to serve others You have much to offer the world, and if you don't, then who will? I believe that you all have the ability to make the world a better place, not just for yourself, but for others as well. What I just shared are only a few ideas on how you might accomplish that. I hope you continually find ways to affect the change you want to see. To the graduating class before me, you have certainly earned this day. I wish you the best in your next steps, and may success continually find you. Again, I say congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruben. You, Affiong, and all the graduates seated in front of me are an inspiration to the faculty and staff at Central Ohio Technical College, your friends, family, and all future students and graduates of the college as well. Before the diplomas are handed out, I want to just briefly recognize a few caring and dedicated people who have supported you during your process. The faculty play a crucial role in bringing the graduates to this important milestone. Will all of the COTC faculty please stand for recognition? Thank you, and please be seated. Will all of the college staff please stand for recognition as well? Thank you. You may be seated. And last but not least, will the family and friends of our graduates please stand for recognition for all the support that you have provided? Our graduates have achieved a momentous occasion tonight, but they could not have done it without your support, guidance, love, and care. So thank you for who you are and what you do. Now, Dr. Heiser, if I could call you back to the podium. I think some of these individuals would like to receive something important.
I'm not sure if that's why they're here. Thank you, Dr. Berry. It's my pleasure this evening to recognize those students graduating with distinction. Students graduating with honors have earned an overall grade point average of 3.5 or higher out of a possible 4.0. Their names are, the names of the students who have achieved that level of performance are identified in the commencement program. As well, COTC honor graduates can be recognized by the gold tassels on their caps. Will all of our honor graduates please stand and be recognized? You can be seated. Members of Phi Theta Kappa, the International Honor Society of two-year colleges, maintained at least a 3.25 grade point average and are involved in numerous service projects on campus and in the community. Phi Theta Kappa students are wearing gold stoles. Will our Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society graduates please stand and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. We also have graduates that are members of Alpha Delta Nu, the Nursing Honor Society, which recognizes the academic excellence of students in the study of the associate degree of nursing. Alpha Delta Nu students are wearing apricot cords. Will all of our Alpha Delta Nu Nursing Honor Society graduates please stand and be recognized? You may be seated. Members of Lambda Nu National Honor Society for Radiologic and Imaging Sciences, which recognizes exemplary scholarship of students in the study of radiologic sciences. Lambda Nu members are wearing green and maroon cords. Will all of our Lambda Nu Lambda Nu Radiologic Honor Society graduates please stand and be recognized? Graduates that began taking college courses at COTC while in high school are identified by their green and white cords. Will all of our high school options and college credit plus students please stand and be recognized? You may be seated. And lastly, it is my privilege to recognize those students who are graduating as veterans or members of the United States military. Military veterans and active duty personnel are identified by red, white, and blue cords. We honor and appreciate you for serving our country. Please stand for recognition. All right, we're getting there, I promise. As I call your degree or certificate area, if you will rise, an audience, we're going to wait for the applause until each area has risen, and then they'll take their seats, and then we'll do the applause at the end. Will the candidates for the degree of the Associate of Applied Business in Business Management Technology please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree of Associate of Applied Business in Information Technology please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree of Associate of Applied Science in Criminal Justice Technology please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree of Associate of Applied Science in Early Childhood Education Technology please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree of Associate of Applied Science in Engineering Technology please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Associate of Applied Science in Health Services Technology please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Associate of Applied Science in Human Services please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Associate of Applied Science in Law Enforcement Technology please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Associate of Applied Science in Nursing Technology please stand? A very small crowd. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Associate of Applied Science in Surgical Technology please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidate for the Associate of Arts please stand? Candidates, a couple. Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree of Associate of Science please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. And now our graduates who are graduating from COTC with a short-term or one-year certificate. Will the candidates for Human Resources one-year certificate please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidates for Management one-year certificate please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Certificate of Office Administration one-year certificate please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the phlebotomy certificate please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Addiction Studies certificate please stand? Will the candidates for the State-Tested Nurse Aid certificate please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. And will the candidates for Surgical Technology one-year certificate please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. And now I ask that all of the graduates please rise and be recognized by the members of the audience. You may be seated. You didn't know you were going to be standing up and sitting down this much, did you? Dr. Berry, I have the distinct honor to present and recommend on behalf of the faculty at Central Ohio Technical College these candidates who have completed all of the requirements for the Associate of Applied Business, Associate of Applied Science, Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, one-year certificate, and COTC certificates.
Thank you, Dr. Heiser. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Central Ohio Technical College Board of Trustees and the State of Ohio, I confer upon you the appropriate degrees and certificates with all the rights, privileges, and duties pertaining thereto. Congratulations. Let's give them one heck of a round of applause, please. In recognition of the degrees and certificates just conferred, the diplomas will now be handed out.
Afiyong Ibakate Hawkins. Deborah Lynn Gale, with honors. Tanya Lee Nutter. Sierra Dawn Curry, with honors. Sarah Renee Hinchcliffe, with honors. Lola Kuntz, with honors. Kimberly Ann Davis, with honors. Joseph Lee Duncan II. Talia Williams. Carrie Jo Streets. Stacy Charles, with honors. Fatumata Kader Trawe. Jacob Raymond Yacaprero. Noah Michael Zarnowski. Kelsey Kent. Thomas James Burns, with honors. Amy Ree Gooden. Heidi Jo Russo. Malaysia B. Denson. Draven C. Fowler, with honors. Joanna Vanessa Ervalo. Ole Ba, with honors. Christmas R. Booth. Deanna Michelle Collins. Lacey J. Davis. Ozian Farasia. Samar Marcel Gabridingen. Caroline Louise Gory Yapez. Benjamin Samuel Hagstad, with honors. Ayan Hassan Haji, with honors. Michelle Adrian Holly, with honors. Sahara K. Humphreys. Mylinda Whitney Jeffers. Art Shayla Danae Jones. Caitlin Nicole Kerwin. Lauren Gabrielle Kohler. Amira Abdullah Kusi, with honors. Nicholas Meyer. Caitlin May Miller. Halima Shigao Mohammed. India Monique Moore. Mekadis Lagisha Nagash. Elizabeth Catherine Bender Parks. Kaylee Sean Rice, with honors. Kimberly Ridenauer. McKenna Lee Roberts. Desiree Dawn Rogers. Adriana Carice Sandoval. Jesselyn Rhea Schultz. Brenda K. Woodby. Abriana Elaine Klaus, with honors. Lydia Grace Fink, with honors. Drew Francis George, with honors. Christopher Jones, with honors. Michelle Jeanette Schaefer. Amy Shea Schaefer, with honors. Brooke E. Limmert, with honors. Savannah Quinn Trace, with honors. Casey Renee Hansen. Caitlin M. Alt. Amber D. from McCoy. Ibado Osman Ahmed. Cynthia J. Klaus. Daria Timothy Scouten. Nicole Brandy Marie DeLeon, with honors. Tashana Wilson. Joshua Allen Buxton. Doris A. Apori. Alina Lynn Davis. Caitlin Lee Hubbard. Kristen Rochelle Kennedy. Sadra Danelle Rivera. Elizabeth West, with honors. Truework Kase. Sadiat Afalake Raji.
Will all of the graduates please rise? In keeping with academic tradition, you may now transfer your tassel from right to left. This is a visible symbol that you are now a graduate of Central Ohio Technical College. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I get to keep you for a few more minutes. Please sit. One of the rights and privileges of being the president of COTC is I get to address you for the last words of the evening. And I have a very short story to tell you, and I think it will summarize what you heard from Affiong and what you heard from Ruben. And I want all of your family and friends to listen to this as well, because I think they've been a part of this. Very short story, very quickly. One day, a man saw an older woman stranded on the side of the road, but even in the dim of light of day, he could see that she needed help. So he pulled up in front of her Mercedes and got out. His Pontiac was still sputtering as he approached her. Even with a smile on his face, she was worried. No one had stopped to help her in the last hour or so. Was he here to hurt her? He didn't look like he might, but she didn't know. He looked poor and hungry. He could see that she was frightened standing out there in the cold, so he knew how she might feel. And those chills, fear could really sink into you. He said, "I'm here to help you, ma'am. Why don't you wait in your car where it's warm? By the way, my name is Brian Anderson." Well, all she had was a flat tire, but the elderly woman couldn't really change that herself. It was a case of bad luck. Brian crawled under the car itself and looked, and he placed the jack there. He skinned his knuckles a time or two. Soon he was able to change the tire for her. But he had gotten dirty, and his hands were hurt. As he was tightening up those lug nuts, she rolled down the window and began to talk to him. She told him that she was from St. Louis. It was only just passing through. She couldn't thank him enough for coming to her aid. Brian just smiled as he closed the trunk. The lady asked how much she owed him. Any amount would be fine by her. She already imagined all the awful things that could have happened had not someone stopped there that evening. Brian never thought twice about getting paid. This was not a job for him. This was helping someone in need. This was doing what he was called to do. He had been given a hand to do it, and he was happy to. He had lived his whole life in that way, and it never occurred to him to act any differently. He told her that it was really nothing that she needed to do, but if she wanted to pay back the next time she saw someone in need, to help, provide that help to them. She could give that person the assistance they needed, and Brian just added, "And think of me." He waited until she started her car and drove off. It had been a cold and depressing day, but he felt good as he headed home, disappearing into the twilight. A few miles down the road, the lady saw a small cafe. She went and grabbed a bite to eat and took the chill off of her before her long trip home. It was a dingy little restaurant, but everyone seemed to be fairly pleasant. The waitress came over and brought a clean towel to wipe her hair. She had a sweet smile, one that, even though you could tell she'd been on her feet all day, could not erase. The lady noticed that the waitress was nearly 8 months pregnant, but she never let the strain of the eggs change her attitude. The older woman wondered how someone who had so little could give so much to a stranger. Then she remembered Brian. After the lady finished her meal, she paid with a $100 bill. The waitress quickly went to get change for that $100 bill, but the older lady had slipped right outside the door. She was gone by the time the waitress came back. The waitress wondered where this woman could it be. Then she noticed something written on the napkin. There were tears in her eyes when she read the words the lady wrote. "You don't owe me anything. I have been where you are too. Someone once helped me out the way I'm helping you. If you really want to pay me back, here's what you do. Do not let this chain of love go unnoticed." Under the napkin were 4 $100 bills, where there were tables to clean, sugar bowls to fill, and people to serve, but the waitress made it through another day. The night when she got home from work and climbed into bed, she was thinking about the money that the woman had provided and the letter that she had written. How could that lady have known that so much of what she and her husband needed, with a baby due next month, it was going to be hard? She knew how worried her husband was that he lay sleeping next to her. She gave him a quick kiss and whispered softly, "Everything's going to be all right. I love you, Brian Anderson." So, why did I share that story with you? I think each and every one of us has been Brian Anderson. Each and every one of us has had opportunity to help others. You have the opportunity to continue that chain of excellence. I can tell you with no uncertainty, I have been Brian Anderson and far worse. My father was the first in our family to graduate from high school. We didn't have much of anything to get started. And candidly, it was education that helped me move to where I am today. And I started just like you at a community college. And there is nothing that you can't do, and there's nothing that you won't do. But you were challenged today by your speakers. Pay it forward. Do the right thing. Serve where you can serve in a manner that you can. You've all proven that you can be successful by doing what you've done. Congratulations. Now be significant. Do something to bring the next generation to the seat you're in today. We, as COTC administrators, faculty, staff, could not be any more proud of you, but we challenge you to take that next step. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here tonight. We congratulate each and every one of you, and one last round of applause for our graduates. This concludes the autumn 2022 commencement of Central Ohio Technical College. Please remain seated until the platform party and the faculty have recessed and the graduates have exited the gymnasium. I now direct the processional to begin.